Hello friends, in this session we are going to discuss some of the sets from arrangements. So we'll see different sets, a few previous year questions as well. Let us start. Now this is the set. In annual business conference of Sun Group, the regional heads of North, South, East, West and Central zone congregated. The observations are as follows. South and West regional heads spoke English, but when the regional head of East joined them, they start talking in Bengali, the only common language in the three, and so on. So if you observe the set has the different regions, 5 regions, and 5 different languages: English, Hindi, Bengali, Marathi, Urdu, against which there are 5 regions. So that means it is only 2 parameter question. So you can just make this question as one by one. That means you can just make a table like this. On one side, you can just write the number of the names of the regions. So we can say North, South, East, West, and Central. And on this side, you can write the languages. So languages would be English, Bengali, then Hindi, then Marathi, and then Urdu. And then you can just play this as a tic-tac-toe or a Sudoku type of game. One by one statement, you can read South and West regional heads spoke English. South and West, they spoke English. But when regional head of East joined them, they start talking in Bengali. That means all these three, South, West, and East, all these three, they speak Bengali, which is only common language between us. So that tells us now all these three cannot speak any another language. All three speaking another language is not possible. That means the East regional head does not speak English. This is what it means. Next statement it says, only common language among North, South, and Central is Hindi. North, South, and Central. The only language common among North, South, and Central is Hindi. So North, South, and Central, the only common language is Hindi. So now again, these three speaking any another language, not possible. North, South, and Central. All these three speaking another language is not possible. Only Hindi they all will speak. Next statement is, the only common language between West and Central was Marathi. So West and Central, they both speak Marathi. So there cannot be any another common language between these two. That tells us if West person speak English and Bengali, Central person cannot speak these two. While Central person speaks Hindi, so West person cannot speak this. Next statement is, 3 regional heads spoke Urdu. So Urdu is spoken by 3 people, and the language spoken by most of the regional head was Bengali. It should be was Bengali. So Bengali being the most spoken language has to be more than 3, but it cannot be 5 because Central person already doesn't speak Bengali. So Bengali has to be 4 then. More than 3 because most, and it cannot be 5. So 4. So that means North person also speaks Bengali. Now we know one head speak all 5 language, one speak 4, one speak 3, one speak 2, and one speak only one language. So which of the 5 is the person who speaks only one language? Can it be North one? No, because North already there are 2. South already there are 3 languages. East right now only 1. West already 3, and Central already 2. So the person who speaks only one language can only be the person from East. So we have to mark all 3 crosses in front of him. So East is the person who is speaking exactly one language. Now we know Urdu is the language spoken by only 3 persons. Out of these 4, North, South, West, and Central, 3 should be tick and 1 should be cross. But also we know that West and Central both cannot be tick because in between these two, only common language is Marathi. So both cannot be tick. So one of them has to be cross and rest of the 3 has to be tick. That means these 2 have to be tick. And which one is going to be cross? That is decided by this. That is, only common language between North, South, and Central is Hindi. So North, South, and Central, the common language cannot be Urdu. So Urdu is not spoken by the Central. That means Urdu is to be spoken by the West. So West person, he is speaking 4 language, and Central person who is speaking 2 language. Now we are left with the person with 3 languages and 5 languages. Now South person already speaking for 4 languages. That means he is the person who speaks all 5 languages. And North is the person who then speaks 3 languages. That means he does not speak English and Marathi. He speaks the rest of the 3 languages. So this is how the table can be concluded. All required is just answer a few questions. Which regional head can speak all the languages? You can just look at the table and see South person speaks all 5 languages. Answer should be option number 2, South. What is the language spoken by least number of regional heads? So as you can see, English is spoken by 2, Bengali is spoken by 4, Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, all spoken by 3 people. So answer should be English, as it is spoken by only 2 persons. What are the common languages spoken by regional heads from North and West? So even if you check North and West, common language are going to be Bengali, they both speak. Also, they both speak Urdu. So Bengali and Urdu, option number 3, is the common language for these 2. Easy? Let's see one more interesting set like this. Okay, this is one more set. 5 friends, namely Pranav, Mayank, Samir. So if you see, there are 5 friends. Their names are given. Their surnames are given, not necessarily in the order. Then the brands of the apparel they are purchasing is given. Types of apparel is given, like jeans, t-shirt, and the price is given. That means 5 parameters: name, surname, price, brand, and apparel. Against 5 people. So on one side, we can write the names, and then there will be apparels. Or we can just make a table like this. We can just make a table like this. Here, we are going to write names, then surnames, then brand, then apparel, and then price. And there are 5 people, so we'll make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows like this. And we'll go statement by statement. Statement starts from this part. Okay, Mr. Singh spent 1300 more than Pranav Sharma. So we already know that Pranav Sharma is a person. So we know Pranav is a person who's, let's use another color so you don't get confused. Pranav is a person whose surname is Sharma. So we can figure out that part. So first row we can provide to Pranav Sharma. Mr. Singh spent 1300 more than Pranav Sharma, but less than the man who purchased the brand numero. So we have to have, out of these 5 figures, we have to have 2 figures with difference as 1300. So 1300 difference will be between 800 and 2100 or 300 and 1600. So that means Mr. Singh is the one who is either spending 1600 or 2100 because he's spending 1300 more than somebody. But he is spending lesser also than somebody. That means he is not the person with 2100. He has to be the person who is 1600. So that means Mr. Singh, the person whose surname is Singh, is spending 1600, which is 1300 more than Pranav Sharma. That means Pranav Sharma is spending 300 rupees. Pranav Sharma is the one with 300 rupees. Also, you know, the person who is Singh is spending lesser than who purchased numero uno. That means wherever the brand numero uno is going to come, is going to be more than 1600, and only one price is more than 1600, that is 2100. So numero uno person is going to be the one which is 2100, who is spending 2100. Second statement. Samir spent thrice as much man who purchased the t-shirt. So thrice relation, we can only observe between these 2 figures. 300, 3 times is 900. So that means the person with 300 is the one who bought t-shirt. And thrice than him, that is 900, is spent by Samir. Samir spends thrice as much. So that means this person's name is Samir. Numero uno item purchased costs 7 times as much as the Levi's item. Numero uno is already, 2100. It is 7 times of 300. That means the item of 300, the brand is Levi's. Numero uno is 7 times of Levi's. Fourth, the person who purchased jeans spent less than the man who buys brand Raymond, but more than the man who bought Color Plus. So jeans is lesser than Raymond's, but more than Color Plus. More than Color Plus. Also, that tells us that jeans item is not of Raymond's or Color Plus. Jeans cannot be of Raymond's or Color Plus. That also we have to keep in mind. Mr. Gemini spent more than the man who bought brand Levis or one who bought shirt, but less than both Ashutosh or Mr. Tiwari. See, this statement is very important. That tells us that Mr. Gemini is spending more than two persons, the one with Levi's and one with shirt, but less than two different persons, that is Ashutosh and Tiwari. There are 5 prizes. 2 more, 2 less. That means the prize which is middle, that is 900, is the person who is Mr. Gemini. So this person, Samir, has to be the Gemini. The surname of Samir has to be the Gemini because he is more than 2 person, lesser than 2 person. He is more than 2 persons. That is one for Levis. That means obviously this 300 and another is 800. And that must be the person who bought shirt. So that means wherever we are going to write 800, the apparel in front is going to be the shirt. But he's spending less than Ashutosh or Tiwari. So he's spending 900% spending less than these two. One of them is Ashutosh, one of them is Tiwari. Now, this cannot be Tiwari as its surname is already seen. That means this person is Tiwari. And that means this person is Ashutosh. One surname remaining. So that should belong to this person. And that surname is Mahajan. This person is Mahajan. Suit was the costliest item. This item is costliest. That means this is the suit of numero uno. One person is having the name and surname starting with the same alphabet. So there is Pranav, Mayank, Samir, Ashutosh, and Sumit. Sharma, Mahajan. So Mayank, Mahajan is possible for now. Sharma and Singh both are taken. So Samir Sharma, Samir Singh not possible. So only possible it is Mayank, Mahajan. Pranav, there is no surname from P. Mayank, there is surname from M. Samir, there is Sharma and Singh, both taken. Sharma and Singh both are taken. So Sumit and Samir, both are not possible. Ashutosh, there is no surname from me. So only possibility is Mayank, Mahajan. So this person has to be the Mayank. And this person has to be Sumit. Now we know jeans cost less than Raymond's and more than the Color Plus. So now we are left with, for jeans, we have either this price or this price. Jeans is less than Raymond's. So this price cannot be jeans as it is only lesser than numero uno. That means this is the article which is jeans. And right now it is lesser than 1600 that we don't know of. And it is more than 800 which we know of, which we don't know the brand of. That means this article, this is Color Plus and it is lesser than 600. That means this is Raymond's. Only one brand is remaining. The brand's name is Pepe. So Pepe is the one with jeans and only one apparel left. That is pant. This has to be the pant. So this is how we can fill the table. Let's go to the questions. Who purchased jeans? So jeans is purchased by Samir Gemini. So answer is option number 3, Samir. Suit is of which brand? So we know suit is of numero uno. Option number 4. Mayank's surname is, as you know, Mayank's surname is Mahajan. How much money was spent by Ashutosh? Ashutosh is spending 1600. Option number 4. Okay, now we'll see some sets from previous year questions. Those are also important for us. So let's see some previous year questions. Now this is the set. It is about 7 classes being scheduled. The name of the subjects are given. Each of the subject scheduled either for 30 minutes or for 60 minutes. If a subject from 9 a.m. to 10, then it must be scheduled on 9, 9:30 or 10. So that means any subject properly scheduled at 9 or 9:30 timings. Neither schedule 9:05 nor schedule 9:55. There is a 30-minute break given between classes. Hindi class is scheduled at 12. So we can just first of all make a timeline like this. So we can make a timeline like this. And we can just put different timings here. So we can say this is 8. Of course, it can be before 8 as well. I'm not saying 8 is the possibility, but we can just manage later. Then 9, then 10, then 11, then 12, then 1 o'clock, then 2 o'clock, then 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and so on. Here also we can extend it if needed. Now let's start. Hindi class is scheduled on 12. So at this point, Hindi is scheduled. So Hindi could be up to 12:30 or up to 1 as well. We'll accordingly just leave it here. No class is scheduled between Hindi and maths. So this statement, Hindi and maths, they are to be consecutive, but Hindi and maths could be before or later also after Hindi. So we can keep that on hold. English class is scheduled at 2. So at this point, English is scheduled. There is 1.5 hour gap between English and biology class, which is scheduled after English. So biology is scheduled after English, and there is a 1 hour 30 minutes gap. Total time for all subjects is 5 hours. So, there are total 7 subjects and time is 5 hours. So if you give half hour to each subject, there will be 3.5 hours. So 1.5 hour more means there will be 3 subjects with 1 hour duration, and there will be 4 subjects with half hour duration. So that we have to consider. Physics class is scheduled 60 minutes before maths class. No class is scheduled at 6 p.m. So at 6 p.m. there is no class schedule. That means we cannot start any class from 6 o'clock and after 6 p.m. So there is no class after 6 p.m. as well. Chemistry class takes half the time than English. So there are only 2 varieties, either 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So if English is there, half of which is chemistry, that means English has to be the one with 60 minutes. So English should take place for 60 minutes. That means chemistry should take place for half hour and schedule just after English. So if English overs at 3, that means 3:30 chemistry starts and it overs at 4. This is the chemistry. Also, we know one more information that there is a 1.5 hour gap between English and biology. So as English overs at 3, biology should start at 4:30. So biology starts at this point. This is the point where biology starts. Now we know no class is scheduled between Hindi and maths. So Hindi getting over at 12:30, maths 1 to 1:30 possible. So let's keep that part also on hold. Physics class is scheduled 60 minutes before maths class. But now that is not possible because Because if Hindi getting over at 12:30, math starting from 1 to 1:30, then it says physics is 60 minutes before maths class. That is not possible because if math starts at 1, physics should start at 12. That is not possible. That means maths is before Hindi. So maths should be getting over at this part. Maths. No class is scheduled between Hindi and maths. Physics should be before maths. So before maths, there should be physics. No class is scheduled at English. No class is scheduled at 10 a.m. So from 10 a.m. onwards, no class starts at this point. No class is starting at 10 a.m. That is what it means. And 5 p.m. No class can start at 5 p.m. And that is obvious because if biology is starting at 4:30, so even if it gets getting over at 5, no class can start at 5. Biology can be continued till 5:30. That is a possibility. So we'll keep that up. Social study class is scheduled before the class, which is scheduled at 3:30. So 3:30 chemistry starts. So before chemistry, there should be social studies. So now we have this much information. We have to analyze this part. It says physics class is scheduled 60 minutes before math class. That means math, if started at 11, let's say math, because math is to be ended at 11:30. So if math started at 11, physics had to be started at 10, but it is not possible because no class is scheduled at 10. That means math should be the 1 hour class. Math started at 10:30 and physics started then at 9:30. Physics is the one who started at 9:30. So this is the time physics started. Now physics could end at 10 only because physics cannot end at 10:30. There has to be a gap of 30 minutes. So physics is the one who ended at 10. So physics is half-hour class, maths is 1 hour class, English is 1 hour class, chemistry is half-hour class. So we are now having 2 half-hour classes and 2 1 hour classes. We need one more 1 hour class. Could that be Hindi? Could Hindi be 1 hour class? If Hindi was 1 hour class, so Hindi should be getting over at 1 o'clock. But then 1:30 to 2 not possible. There is only half-hour gap. That means Hindi should get over at 12:30. So English should get over at 12:30 and there should be another class from 1 to 1:30, which should also be half-hour class. And that has to be social studies because all the rest of the subjects are done. This class has to be social studies. So we are now having half-hour class of, this is half-hour class, this is half-hour class, this is half-hour class, and this is half-hour class. So we are done with all 4 half-hour classes. So there are 3 1-hour classes left. This is 1 hour class, this is 1 hour class. That means biology is also 1 hour class. So biology should end at 5:30. So this is how the scheduling will look like. Let's answer the question based on this. Which of the following time for chemistry class? So chemistry started at 3:30, end at 4, 3:30 to 4. Option number C is the answer. Which of the following subject is scheduled at last? So in the last, biology is scheduled. Option number A. Which of the following subject is scheduled at last? Okay, sorry, there must be some confusion. But once you have the timetable, you can solve any question anyways. What class is scheduled 150 minutes after maths class? Maths class over at 11:30. So 150 minute means 2.5 hours more. So half hour means 12 and 2 more. That means what class starts at 2? English starts at 2. So option number A, English should be the answer. The number of classes scheduled between physics and chemistry is same as the number of classes scheduled before which class? So between physics and chemistry, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 classes. So which class has 4 classes before it? Again, English will have 4 classes before it. English has social studies, Hindi, maths, and physics before it. So English should be the answer. Easy. Let's see one more interesting set like this. Study the following information carefully. Answer the questions given below. Certain number of persons sit around a circular table. So this is about sitting arrangement. Circular table arrangement. Few of them like different colors. Also the color part is there. More than 9 persons sit around a table. each of the neighbors sit at equal distance from each other and all. So what I'll do is I'll just draw few circles already so that if needed, we can just make new cases quickly. So I'll draw 4 to 5 circles. Of course, in exam, if you have good retention means how much, once you read the information, how much you can understand and keep mind or memorize it while solving. That is called as retention. So if you have good retention, you don't require much cases. If you have less retention, so your speed should be fast, then you have to then quickly make cases. Because this is important questions for us. One question like this, and you can just say clearing cutoff becomes very, very easy. Because in chunk you get marks. You get directly 5 marks once you are able to solve the arrangement. Let's start with the information directly. Information starts from this point. 2 persons sit between Q and A who likes green. So if I say Q's right side is A, so there are 2 persons between. A is here and A likes green, but not necessary. Q's right, left side also can be A. So A here, 2 places, Q here, that is also possibility. A likes green. So I have maintained both possibilities in these 2 cases. Next, T is immediate neighbor of U who likes red. So where is U right now? We don't know. Let's keep that statement on hold. T is immediate neighbor of U who likes red. Q sits second to right of A. So if A is here, first to right, second to right, U is here. U likes red and T is immediate neighbor. So again, we'll keep that part on hold. But if A is here, U sits second to right of A. So first to right of A, second to right of A, U is here. U likes red. And now we'll come to this part. T is immediate neighbor of U. So in this case, one of the immediate neighbor is already done. That makes this as T. In this case, both immediate neighbors are possible. So we'll make both cases again. So I'll just replicate this case here once quickly. This is Q, 2 places, A who likes green, then 1 place, then U who likes red. So if I say this is the person who is T in this case, so I'll say this is the T. T is the immediate neighbor of U who likes red. U is the second of right of A. There are as many persons between T and W. Those are between Q and W. So that means T, W, and Q. They should be equidistant from each other. R sits third to right of W and is immediate neighbor of Q. So in this case, we can consider this case because R is immediate neighbor of Q. R is immediate neighbor of Q and only 1 place is remaining. So we can say this is R. And R sits third to right of W. So he is third to right of this person, first to right, second to right, third to right. This is not W. That means this case we can just overrule. We can say this is not possible case. Now again, we'll consider these 2 cases. R sits third to right of W and is immediate neighbor of Q. So R could be this also, this also. R could be this also, this also. So 2 more cases are to be made. So we'll keep that also on hold rather than making so many cases upfront. Let's see if we can rule out anything before. R and the one who likes black are immediate neighbor. The one who likes yellow sits second to right of the one who likes black. U and the one who likes yellow are not immediate neighbor. The number of persons seats between T and R is less than 5 when counted to the right of T. So if T is here on the right side of T, there should be lesser than 5% between T and R. R is here, we have to maintain that. If T is here, R is here, we have to maintain that on right side, there should not be more than 5%. Okay, so we'll make both the cases. These cases will replicate it here. Quickly. First case is this. So I'll just replicate that. U who likes red. Then there is a T. Then there is A who likes green. Then there are 2 persons and then Q. And then I'll replicate this case. T. Then there is U who likes red. Then there is 1 person. Then there is A who likes green. Then there are 2 persons. And then there is Q. Okay, so I replicated both the cases. In the first case, we are going to read it from this. There are R sits third to right of W and is immediate neighbor of Q. So if I say R is this neighbor, or R could be this side neighbor of Q. R could be this side neighbor of Q as well. Now R sits third to right of W. In this case, first, second, first, second, first, second, third. That means this is the person who is W. First to right of W, second to right of W, third to right of W. In this case, if we say R is here, R is third to right of W, first to right of W, second, first to right of W, second to right of W, third to right of W. But in this case now, 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4%. Fine. That is also allowed for now. In these two cases now, once we can put R as here, and in this we can put R on this side. R is third to right of W. So 1, 2, 3. First to right of W, second to right of W, third to right of W. So W will be here. In this case, 1, 2, 3. First to right of W, second to right of W, third to right of W. So there are these many cases. We know now there are as many percent between T and W, between W and Q. So between W and Q, there are already 1, 2, 3 people. So if you put 1, 2, 3 people between this, now this part that on right side of T to R, there cannot be more than 5%. The person's seat between T and R is less than 5. They cannot be even their number of people cannot be even 5. So if you put 3 people here, T to R will be more person than 5. So this is not possibility. Between T to W, there is 1 person. Between Q to W, there are already 3 persons. So we'll have to have 2 more persons in between these two. So same thing will happen. T to R, there will be more than 5%. So this is also not possible case. Between T to W, there is 1 person. Q to W, Q to W, there is 1 person. So T to W also, there should be 1 person. Between T to R, now 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is possibility. Q and W, there is only 1 person. T and W, there is only 1 person. So now we are left with two cases, but we know the number of people are more than 9. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 people in this case. That means again, this is not the possibility. The possibility we are left with is only one, that is this. So this is the final arrangement. Now we just put the remaining part, that is the colors. That should be easy. It says R and the one who likes black are immediate neighbors. So R and black possible, R and black possible. So keep that on hold. This can also be black. This can also be black. The one who likes yellow sits second to the right of one who likes black. If this is black, 1, 2, this is yellow. If this is black, 1, 2, this is yellow. You and the one who likes yellow are not immediate neighbor. If this is not yellow, this cannot be the black. That means Q is the person who likes black. Second to black, there is a person who likes yellow. This is the person who likes yellow. This is the only possible case. So we are good to go for the questions directly. First question, who among the following sits 8 to right of T? If T is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, 8th person whose name is unknown to us. So we'll mark option number E, unknown person. Second, who faces to the one who likes color? So faces means we have to draw the diagonals as well. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means they two are diagonally opposite to each other. These two are diagonally opposite to each other. These two are diagonally opposite to each other. These two are diagonally opposite to each other, and these two are diagonally opposite to each other. W facing green. W is diagonally opposite to green. Yes. T red, no. Q yellow, no. A black, no. All of this, no. So answer should be W facing the one who likes green color. Let's see next one. How many persons sit around the table? 10. As you can see, there are 10 people. 4 of the following 5 alike. No, wait. TW, T one gap W, green red, green one gap red, A yellow, A immediately there will be yellow, W black, W one gap black, R green, R one gap green. So A and yellow is the wrong pair. If T and Q interchange the position, then how many persons sit between Q and A when counted right of Q? That means right now we have to count on the right of T. And we have to see how many persons sit between T and A on right side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 persons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 persons between T and A on right side. So when Q takes the position of T, there will be 6 persons. So option number A is the answer. Easy. So I hope you got this and you understood that level of the questions may not be much, but sometimes it might take more number of cases like this. If your retention, as I said, is good, you can remember as many things as possible and you can just curtail your number of cases. But make sure that you don't make mistake. Once you put hand into some tricky set like this, and then if you make mistake, then you realize, no, this is not the set to be solved. Then you wasted unnecessary time. So while solving, check that part, that what is your strength and what is your weakness. Your weakness, if you cannot remember many cases, draw as cases possible. Taking 2-3 minutes extra is not going to affect if ultimately the result is sweet. If you are getting 5 marks out of marks, then it doesn't matter you wasted 2-3 minutes or not, right? Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye. Have a good day.